We've all been there, right? That moment of pressure. A new meeting, a conference, maybe a new patient walks in, and suddenly all eyes are on you. You've got what, maybe 30 seconds to introduce yourself and make a really good first impression. So how do you make it count? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a simple but really powerful framework to help you master that exact moment.
You've heard this a million times, but it's a classic quote for a reason, especially in professional settings like healthcare. The second someone meets you for the first time, their brain is just working overtime trying to decide, are you competent? Are you trustworthy? Are you someone they actually want to work with? And believe me, that whole process is way faster than you might think.
In fact, research shows that people start forming judgments about your competence within the first 10 seconds of hearing you speak. Just 10 seconds. I mean, that's barely enough time to say your name and your title. It really shows you just how high the stakes are in those first few moments.
So let's dive into that. Section 1, the first 10 seconds. We're going to explore why these initial moments are so critical for building trust and creating new opportunities. Think about it. That first impression translates directly into real-world stuff. You know, will a patient feel safe enough to open up to you? Is a surgeon going to see you as a reliable partner in the room? If you sound calm and organized, people just naturally assume your work is too. It really all hangs on that very first introduction.
All right, so Section 2, clarity over confidence. With all that pressure, you might think the goal is to have this superhuman confidence, but it's not. The goal is actually a simple but really powerful shift in your mindset, something much more achievable.
And here it is. This is the central idea. Just forget about selling yourself. The real goal is just to be understood. When you aim for clarity, confidence, well, that often just follows as a natural byproduct. It's a way less intimidating target and honestly, a much more powerful one.
Let's actually break this down. On one hand, you have that old way of thinking, right? Aggressive selling. It's all about trying to impress people, maybe overwhelming them with details. But the other approach, this clear presentation, is just about explaining your role, showing your value, and then inviting a next step. See the difference? It's a conversation, not a performance.
So what does clarity really mean in practice? Well, it kind of boils down to this simple test. Can the person listening to you quickly understand who you are, what you do, and this is the most important part, can they repeat your main value back in a single sentence? If the answer is yes, you've nailed it.
Okay, that brings us to Section 3, your basic intro. Let's get super practical now with a simple framework to help you get that clarity every time. Here it is, a simple 4-part structure. Who you are, where you work, what you focus on, and why it matters. This structure forces you to be concise, and it gets you talking about your value right from the get-go.
Let's hear this framework in action. Check out this example from the source. Notice how Ala hits all 4 of those points: who she is, where she works, her specific focus, and the real human benefit of what she does. This whole intro, it takes less than 20 seconds, but it paints a complete and really compelling picture.
Okay, so Section 4, the 30-second pitch. Now let's build on that basic intro. Because in some high-stakes situations, like a big conference, you need a little more. You need a pitch.
Now the structure is pretty similar, but it's more focused. You still have your identity, but then you add a hook to really grab their attention, a specific call to action that tells them what you want, and of course a polite closing. Really, a pitch is just an introduction with a specific goal in mind.
Let's build one of these pitches, using the source example. So part 1 is pretty familiar, right? Your introduction and identity. It's clear, it's concise, and it sets the stage perfectly.
And now for the hook. This is the part that makes the listener really lean in and pay attention. Instead of just saying what you do, you mention something new, a recent project, an innovation, maybe a problem you're solving. It makes your work feel immediate and super interesting.
And next up is the call to action. In our example, it's this simple sentence right here. This is the step that turns your monologue into a real dialogue. It gives the listener a clear, easy way to engage with you. And it's a realistic ask. You're just inviting a conversation, you're not demanding a job.
And this is a perfect moment to just pause and ask yourself, when you're networking, what is your actual goal? What do you want from the other person? Knowing your call to action before you even start talking, that's the absolute key to an effective pitch.
Okay, Section 5, finding your natural tone. We've covered what to say, but of course, how you say it is the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. And this is just so important to remember. The goal here is not perfection. It's not about memorizing every single word until you sound like a robot. It's about sounding clear, human, and authentic.
because at the end of the day, people connect with other people, not with scripts.
So here are some fantastic, really actionable tips to help you find that natural tone. I especially love the last one. Change 1 or 2 words each time you practice. This is so smart because it stops it from sounding overly rehearsed and keeps it feeling fresh and conversational. Oh, and recording yourself, it's a total game changer for hearing how you actually sound to other people.
So let's end with the one question that really gets to the heart of all this. Before you walk into your next introduction, just ask yourself, what is the one key message you want them to walk away remembering? If you can answer that, you'll be able to build an introduction that truly makes an impact.